Do you carry any personal guilt? A lot of people do. And whether you realize it or not, some of the guilt that you may carry or the resentment towards other people that you may carry may be stopping you from getting the results that you really want in your life. It can stop you from being a fully functioning human being. There's a serious side effects to carrying a bunch of guilt. So there's two types of guilt. There is a sense of guilt. A sense of guilt is like if I'm driving down the end of my driveway and I wind up knocking over my trash can. And my sense of guilt says, well, I better get out and pick this up, or I'm going to feel guilty about leaving it for my wife to pick up later. Or I'm going to feel guilty because it could roll out into the street a little further. So that might make me, in the moment, stop what I'm doing, get out and pick the trash can up because I knocked it over. That's a sense of guilt. A sense of guilt is there to help us make better decisions, and it's a healthy type of guilt. Then there is the other type of guilt, which is more damaging, and it is neurotic guilt. Neurotic guilt is something that you've done that you believe that you did, or something you did not do that was in the past, that you cannot change. It's already done. It's over. And you still feel guilty about it. So let's look at that. Let's look at what guilt actually is. And this is very easy to understand. It's easy for you to begin changing almost immediately. So I think you'll find that this is very helpful, and maybe it'll help you get over some of the guilt that maybe you've been carrying around for a long time in your life, so that you can get on with living and get on with becoming more successful in your career and in your personal life. So when we talk about guilt, then after I cover guilt, I'll talk about resentment, because it's easier to explain guilt, and then you'll understand resentment a lot easier. But guilt it's an internal belief. So it's a belief that says, I'm a good person and good people do or do not do blank. So it could be, I'm a good person. Let's say that there was that you stole money from your parents when you were younger. Let's say something like that, which is something in the moment maybe you thought it was the best idea because you needed that money to go hang out with your friends or something. But later in life, you're like, you've always carried this guilt about stealing this money. Or it could be something far worse, something that you shouldn't have done. Like, as a society, we have rules and regulations, and those are meant to be here to keep us in line and keep other people safe, from some of the harm that people do to other people. So whatever guilt you are carrying, and it could be the worst of the worst, even if you did something really bad and you're still carrying that guilt, it's not serving you at this point. So guilt says, I'm a good person and good people don't do blank, or I'm a good person and good people do blank. And then the actions that you took, your actions, violated your belief. In other words, you have a belief that what good people do or don't do, but your behavior showed otherwise. You did the opposite of that. And now, in order for you to feel and remain that you're a good person, you start carrying around this thing called guilt. Think of guilt because think of it like this, like somebody who's done really awful things and they get caught by law enforcement and they're in court. And some of these people, they don't feel guilty about what they did, right? And as a society, we look at that and they have no remorse. We look at that as them being like evil people. We're going to view them differently. We're going to think about them differently. So we view those people as being evil or not being good people because they're carrying no remorse or no guilt for their actions that probably hurt others. So for us, normal people, we want to carry that guilt around, right? Typically, people who have no guilt, who get sentenced in court, get longer sentences because they're considered bad people. Where if somebody is incredibly remorseful and they're carrying guilt because they know that they shouldn't have done what they did, then they might get a lesser sentence sometimes. Doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes it does. And it's because they showed remorse and they showed guilt. So now we did some little thing, or maybe a major thing, and in order for us to maintain this idea that we are good people, we carry guilt. Carry guilt for those actions that are violated. Now, here's what I want you to consider, is that everybody in life is always doing the best that they can with what they've got, with their expectations, their experience, the amount of knowledge that they had at that given time. They're doing the best they can. So think about that for a moment. Like, they're just doing the best they can with the choices that they thought they had, their experience that they had in life, and their amount of knowledge that they had in life. They're doing the best they can with what they have at the moment. If you carry guilt, I'm going to show you how to reverse this. So it could be, let's say, I've heard examples of a woman who didn't stay with her dad in the hospital as her dad was sick. The doctors thought he was getting better, so she left the hospital to go back to work because she had already missed several days of work. And her dad died 2 days later. And she felt incredible guilt for not being there with her dad as he passed away. That's a normal, this is a real case scenario. This happens. It's life. But the reality is if you just were to ask that person, are you a good person? So I'll ask you, if you've been carrying guilt, are you a good person? And if you can honestly answer yes, that you always try to do the best with what you got, and you always try to do the best in life and make the best choices, then yeah, you're a good person. So in this situation, I'm a good person, and good people don't leave their dad when they're in the hospital. Now, we need to reverse this, because you can either change the belief or you can change the behavior. And you can't change the behavior because it's already done. If it's already done in the past, you can't change it. It's gone and over with. Done. So what we're left with is changing the belief. So if we're going to change the belief in this situation, it's, I'm a good person and good people don't leave their dad while they're in the hospital. Except when. Except when. ... Except when the doctor said that he was getting better. Except when I had already missed several days of work and I didn't want to get that far behind at work. Except when I needed the money because I wasn't getting paid, because I was out of vacation time, but my job allowed me the time off anyways. Because that's the truth, right? You're still a good person. You don't need to carry guilt for no reason. And that's what this is about. I'm a good people, and I'm a good person, and good people don't, or good people do stay at the hospital. You could put it in either way. Or people don't leave the hospital. Except when. There are always circumstances. There are always multiple choices that you can make. There's only so many experiences that you've had in the past. And there's only so much knowledge that you have about the situation. So you did the best with what you had at that moment. And so is everybody else in life. A lot of times we carry resentment. So resentment is just like guilt. It's just with somebody else. So it's, I'm a good person and good people don't blank, right? So it's like, let's say Kelley at work made some comment about one of her coworkers, and I'm really good friends with that coworker, and I didn't appreciate it. And my thought is, like, good people don't talk crap about other good people, right? So, and then Kelley went off and violated my belief with her behavior. So if that happens, it's the same. I mean, resentment and guilt are a choice. Do you want to carry those around? Do you want them to stop you from being a fully functional human being? Do you want them to stop you from having the kind of success that you really want in life? Then stop carrying it around. It is a choice. You can continue to carry it. It's not going to help you. It's not going to do anything for you. It doesn't make you a good person, especially if you already are a good person. It doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't do anything for anybody. Now that sense of guilt might make you, or even the neurotic guilt, if you haven't come to terms with it and maybe apologize to somebody in your life that you need to apologize for, or to, then go get it over with. Go apologize if you made a mistake. Because the reality is you were doing the best you could at that moment. A sense of guilt is there to serve you, to stop you from having to carry guilt later on. So pay attention to that when that pops up for you in life. And then there's the neurotic guilt that you're just carrying for no reason. Drop it. It's a choice. Nobody can make you feel guilty. Only you. So if you've been carrying guilt for many years, I hope this helped. I hope that you can see just how true this is. You are a good person. You don't need to carry it anymore. Because I'm sure at the time you made the best decision that you could. So I will see you guys on the next one. Be sure to join the Momentum Operating Workshop. Happens every Thursday. There's a link in the description. Most Thursdays it happens. Be sure to register for that. Let me show you how you can advance quicker in life. How you can make sure that your priorities remain the main things that you're focused on each week. And it's a very simple system. I'll teach it to you. You can take it from that class and just use it. And it will change your life. I can promise you that. So hope to see you there. The Momentum Operating Workshop. Be sure to register for that event. And otherwise, I'll see you on the next one. Remember, this is your moment. Boom.